If you're selling your home, pricing it wrong can cost you thousands of dollars. I've seen countless sellers make this exact mistake over and over, and I don't want you to make the same mistake either. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing what I wished every seller knew before they priced their home. That way we can get the property sold and not let it sit on the market for days on end. So stay tuned to the end of this video on how to actually find that out. What's going on, guys? It's Cody with EXP, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing things I wish sellers knew before actually putting their home on the market. Guys, I'm seeing sellers do these same mistakes countless over and over. I don't know who they're getting guidance from, but hopefully in this video I will show you and open your eyes on the mistakes you probably don't even realize you're doing. From trying to market your house to pricing strategies to multiple strategies I use with sellers today to get their property sold for the highest amount possible. So if you haven't already, be sure to follow all my social medias, my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I post daily real estate vlogs of me trying to hit 6 figures as a 20-year-old realtor. Again, like I said every video, you guys are really loving it over there. And also, if you're looking to sell or you're looking to relocate to Arkansas, buying or selling, all my contact information is in the description below. So be sure to, holler at me if you want to make a move. This springtime, this summertime, the market is going to be great. If you're looking to make a move, be sure to contact me down in the description below. Other than that, guys, I don't want to waste too much of your time. Let's jump right into the mistakes sellers are constantly making that you should not be doing. Number one, we're going to get the obvious out the way. Pricing it right, and why does it matter? Guys, pricing is like your gunpowder for the gun. Like literally, if your home isn't priced or if it's overpriced, there's a good chance your home is just going to sit on the market and it's not going to sell. I mean, that's obvious, common sense logic. Why would you want to overprice your home and it's not going to sell in your market? A good example is me one time having a difficult conversation with one of my sellers. We had to drop the price for their home because, for one, we wasn't getting any traction. So that's already your first red flag. Two, if you do comp analysis, yeah, it may come back to what it's worth, but actually, if you actually go to the property and people are not going to really offer what that market value is, people are just going to get consistently lowballed. And if you don't do anything with the price or be super realistic with the sellers, or sellers, if you don't drop your ego, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to get that price. And at the end of the day, regardless if you drop the price or not, you're going to either come to a conclusion on you not wanting to sell anymore and you have to sell, or you have to just take the lowest offer possible. And that's something I completely avoid with my sellers. The overall issue with this is, like I said, I help my sellers. We came to a conclusion of a realistic price, and literally a week after that, not even a week, a few days after that, we started getting more traction. We started getting showings, offers. I generated 6 to 7 offers for this one property that's going under contract right now. And I started a bidding war and actually got them 110% over listing price. So this goes to show that price coaching does matter, and you need it whenever you're about to sell your home. You need to be super realistic. You need to be inside of what a buyer mind may be whenever they come to view your house. I'm not saying sell your home for less than what it's worth, but be realistic to a point that this is going to get sold close or around this price. And that's exactly what I tell my sellers. Most real estate agents, they're not going to really tell you this. They're going to go exactly what you want. I mean, at the end of the day, of course, I want to get you what you want, but we're going to be super realistic about it. And that's me. I like to be super real with my sellers. I don't like when my seller's home sits on the market for all 100 some days and we're not getting any traction. So what I like to do, I like to tell my sellers the real, and if that's something that you're looking for, be sure to contact me down in the description below. Number 2, compare market analysis. CMAs are your best friends. Sellers, maybe new time sellers, or they probably forgot. CMAs are compare market analysis. And what these compare market analysis is basically what has been sold in your area. If you gather around some properties that have been sold in your area, you're going to get almost a close analysis of what your home can be selling for in that area. And why I say CMAs are your best friend, the sold CMAs are going to come close to the price that you need to sell it for. Like I said, what's selling in that area. That way, you're not going to be selling your home for way overpriced than what it was. And you're not going to be lowballing yourself at the same time either. So that's why I say CMAs are your best friend, because you need those. You could get an appraiser. That's a more detailed analysis, but your best bet is compare market analysis. And that's another thing that I do with my sellers, or what every realtor should be doing. CMAs, compare market analysis, to get an exact price or the exact realistic price of what your home could be selling for in that area. The reason why I have this on my list, because even though realtors, we're supposed to be doing this for you, maybe sometimes before you even put your home on the market, you want some type of data, you want some type of market analysis, and you want to know, hey, before I even talk to a realtor, before I even get solicited by a realtor, I want to try to do some stuff myself. And this is where I really encourage sellers to do compare market analysis for themselves, research their own market, see how much their property can get sold for. That way they can already have a clear mind on what their home could be selling for in that area. That way, when everybody gets together, whenever they come up with a plan, everybody know what they want to sell their home for and what it could be sold for. Number 3, this is a strategy I've been using now. This is very new. This is called strategic emotional selling. Strategic emotional selling versus strategic pricing is basically the same thing. It's something that I use whenever we come to selling properties. Remember the story when I told you guys at the beginning of the video, is that I had a hard talk with my seller on dropping the price to a realistic price that I know is going to sell for, and I know it's going to get buyers talking. While of course it was a very emotional decision, it was a very hard decision for the seller, but I talked to the seller in terms of how a buyer come through the property. Of course, it was a property he was living in, but most of everybody was looking at it as an investment property because it had a lot of stuff in it and it needs to be cleaned out. It has some, damages to the property, and getting sold at a price where it's compared market analysis, which is close to like $200,000. We got it sold to around $60,000 to $70,000. The reason why we had a huge price drop is because I got my seller emotionally involved on, hey, if this home doesn't sell within the 6 months contract, what would that do for you? How would that affect your plans on retirement? How would that do with your future benefit? That's emotionally price selling. You need to get your seller into an emotional state of, I need to sell this home realistically, get the highest amount possible, and get this home sold quickly. And while you're doing emotional pricing, that's when you can come back to strategic pricing. So after the emotional talks of, hey, you need to get this property sold, and what would it do once you get it sold and coming up to a realistic price, that's when you're going to come back into a strategic pricing. What would people pay for in this area? Look at the property, what would people really pay for the property? As you know, we could have sold the property for more than what it's worth. The seller didn't want to clean out the property. So that was already another hard talk that went back to the emotional pricing. Now, after those emotional prices, we're back to the strategic pricing, which when I came in to offer a realistic price that would come close, and we set a straight strategic price on getting that property on the market for a realistic price that sellers are going to come to. And lo and behold, after doing all that, I generated 6 to 7 offers that same week. And on top of that, after generating all those offers, I had other listings that was in the area that was owned by him. I generated all offers for those properties they had lined up in the neighborhood. Now all of those properties are under contract. And this is what I like to call emotional and strategic price selling. It's basically using their motivation, getting to where they need to be, what they need to do with the money, and then after coming into an emotional conclusion on you have to make this decision, this is where you get into the logical part of, hey, you need to price it at this price if you want to get to where you want to go. And of course, you may be thinking, wow, I know how much my home is worth. I want to sell it at how much I need it worth. But if you need to make more money on the sale, you need to make sacrifices like repairing, cleaning up the house, doing what you need to do to up the value, and you're getting your money's worth. In this situation, he didn't want to do all that, so we had to sell it as it is. And unfortunately, we only got it for so much, but at the end of the day, I still sold it 110% over listing price. And like I said, again, this is emotional and strategic price strategies. Number 4, this is kind of ties into what I just talked about with emotional and strategic pricing. Adjusting if you need. What I mean by adjusting if you need it, basically the same thing. If you're not getting any traction at a price that we have set, obviously there's going to be times where we need to drop the price to be more realistic with other buyers, to attract more buyers and more showings to come through the property. Because think about it, if you have no attraction, if you have no showings, if you have no offers, why is that? It's not because your property is ugly. It's not because nobody wants your property. It's because 9 times out of 10, your property is overpriced. And that's why I say it ties back into emotional and logical strategic pricing. At the end of the day, if you want traction for your home, what do buyers normally look at? The price. I mean, ask yourself, when did the last time you shop for something that was overpriced? I'm pretty sure you haven't. So that's why it just ties into number 4 with number 3 with emotional and strategic pricing. This is why I say you need to have those strong, hard conversations with sellers and getting them to drop their ego and come to a realistic price that you know that home is going to sell at. And by any means, by all means, I'm not saying to lowball yourself. That's the last thing a seller will want to do, is lowball himself. Basically, what I'm saying is sellers need to be realistic. They need to drop their ego. They need to know exactly how much they need to get their home worth. If it's overpriced, of course, you need to have those hard conversations. Like, again, something I do with my sellers, I don't bullshit them. I don't bullshit them. I literally have these strong, hard conversations with these sellers, and that's exactly what I mean by number 4, adjusting if you need it. This is by, like, again, this is meaning that you need to adjust the price, adjust showings, anything that comes up that's basically getting the buyer to be more interested in your property. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the common mistakes that sellers make, in this video. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a seller and you make these mistakes and you think like, wow, I need to really change these before I put my home back on the market, or I need to let my agent know, hey, can you have these hard conversations with? Or if you are a seller and you actually consider on selling, maybe you like to come to me. I like to tell you the truth and get your home sold at top dollar. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got value from it. And again, like I said earlier in the video, be sure to follow all my social medias, my Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I post daily vlogs. I'm sure you guys will love it. Everybody else is loving it. And like I said, guys, again, if you're looking to relocate to Arkansas, Little Rock market, any market in Arkansas, be sure to contact me down in the description below. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Let's get it.